No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin Raw podcast, episode 186. I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter. I am here with my co-host, Daddy Delgado himself.
Daddy's home.
How you doing, Vince?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm having a great week, great nights. Can't really complain. Obviously, I finally found my LWO shirt, so I had to rep it since it's on the show logo.
Very nice, very nice.
As you can see, the Funkos have been packaged up and are delivered to the new address. Hopefully within the next week or two, I'll be able to have a nice new setup over at the new apartment. So making money moves, as primetime players used to say back in the day.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing what you have in store for us. Our first podcast will be Good Friday. So I don't know if you have any religious leanings that may prevent you from doing a podcast on Good Friday. We'll have to talk about that.
I don't think there's anything in the Bible that prevents me from.
I just don't know if like you get together with family, if you're going to be out for dinner,
Yeah.
if you guys are getting together, if you're going to be around, available.
Yeah.
You know, maybe your girl's getting a Good Friday dick in. Like, I don't know.
Hey, so look, I will say this.
It'll be a good Friday, Vince.
It could be a great Friday. No, but well, honestly, with the apartment, it can be a good Friday all day of the week, every day of the week. Every day that ends with a Y could be a good Friday. But no, like as far as I understand, like I'm religious is all, but I'm not too knee deep into it. So like
I also know you're moving in like the day before, so
we'll see. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm able to like start moving some boxes in this weekend and start the process this upcoming week, so that by I want to say the end of next week, I'm already moved in.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get into news and rumors, we've used this platform to discuss and talk about and continue the discussion for Black Lives Matter. Not so much recently, and really that's on me, because as the media and the world has kind of gone about it, it's not in the news. Other things came along that were in the forefront. So because it wasn't being talked about, I mean, don't get me wrong, we still pushed the idea of supporting the movement and supporting our friends over at Young Kings Wrestling, which you should go do, and buying that Black Lives Matter t-shirt, because we know that that money is going to good causes, that is being put in a fund and is being donated to places that are going to use that money to do the right thing. I don't want it to get lost that nothing has been done. Like all of the issues that existed when Black Lives Matter was at its peak still exist. There's been no legislation put in place to correct any of the issues with our justice system. Nothing has been done to fix the problem. They just kind of stopped talking about it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want anyone to think that because it's not being talked about that everything's just okay, because it's not. Nothing has been done and nothing has been changed. And then to add to that, we now have the Stop the Asian Hate movement, which is the big thing in the media now. And it's no different than what we were talking about months ago with
Black Lives Matter.
To an extent, the racism, the violence being perpetrated against people of a certain ethnicity because of their ethnicity, uh, it's disgusting. It's infuriating. It's ridiculous. I don't understand the mental gymnastics that need to be done to get you to the point to where you feel justified, okay, or correct in perpetrating a hate crime or any of the crimes that we're seeing, let alone the fact that, and I can only speak from, again, a white person's perspective, the white privilege that we're still seeing in the justice system, where they're taking these criminals and they're asking, well, what led them down this dark path? Or you've got people trying to make sure that their actions are classified correctly by saying it's not a hate crime, I just had a bad day.
Yeah, I saw this post on Facebook and it actually like really like kind of encapsulated how it really is viewed by the media and by a majority. If a Hispanic with a gun, like if the shooter turns out to be Hispanic, build the wall. If he turns out to be Arab, ban Muslims. If he's black, Black Lives Matter are terrorists. If they're white, we need to ask ourselves, how are we as a society failing these poor troubled young men? What kind of movies, video games, and music are we making? And it's like we're blaming everything but the person, but the
Exactly.
individual. And but like the roles are, it's completely different when it's a person of color, a different ethnicity, and it's like, oh, see, this is why they're all like this, and they jump to those kind of conclusions. But God forbid, it's like, no offense, man, but God
No,
forbid it's a fucking white person, and it's like, oh, but everything he's gone through, like he's not all there, mentally he's not healthy, he has all these issues, he grew up, look at how he grew up. It's like a lot of minorities, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of like African Americans, we grow up in like terrible situations, and that doesn't make us like terrible people.
you never have to say no offense, because when you say fucking white people or white people in general, I know the context in which you're using it. And I know
Yeah.
that if I don't fall into that category, you're not talking about me, because you're using it as a generalization, not as a specific all white people are bad. And
Yeah.
that is the issue that we have, that is leading to shit like this, where 9/11 happens and then there's an attack on Muslims and all people of Middle Eastern descent. You don't even know if they are from Afghanistan or Iraq or where they're from or what their political leanings or who these people are as a person. Just because they look a certain way, they're being attacked, they're being threatened with deportation and banning them from coming into our country, because they are all looked at as the same as one small group of people that did something wrong.
Yeah.
We see it now with this Stop the Asian Hate movement, where everyone of Asian descent, whether they're Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, it doesn't matter, because they're all Asian. They all fall into the same category and they're all being treated the same way because, oh, well, they're all Asian. But it's an insane mindset that infuriates me, because it's white people that have that fucking mindset. They're the ones that are doing the shit. They're the ones that are on the news. They're the cops that are killing black people. They're the ones. I mean, you saw that white guy that got fucked up and sent to the hospital by that little old lady. Like, on one side, thank God she got to
Yeah.
whoop his ass, but at the same time, you're attacking an old woman. It doesn't even
Exactly.
matter that she's an old Asian woman. Like, you're attacking an old woman. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? I don't understand how. And the infuriating part is, I know that just like everyone is grouped into these categories and everyone's looked at the same way because they are this or they
Hmm.
are that, I, by some people, walk down the street and I'm looked at as one of those white people, one of those racist white people, one of those people are gonna walk, away from me or on the other side of the street from me, or
Yeah.
that I'm going to attack them because I'm white, and because that's the perception that our society has created, as if you look a certain way, you are a certain way, and all of the negative that comes out is spread across an entire race based on
Hmm.
the actions of one, two, a small group of people.
Yeah. And I think the main thing that really sucks about this is that our former, like, not our, like, but like the former president of the United States kind of just went ahead and just lit fire
Oh yeah,
on this and by calling it the China virus. And then now other people are calling it. He's one of the main reasons why there's so much Asian hate. Like there's always been Asian hate, but he lit a fire under it
He
and made it.
empowered people to
Yes.
go out and commit these crimes, whether you want to believe it was his intention or not. He did it. I'm not saying you, I'm saying the listeners, because I don't know how we'd have any Trump supporter listeners, but if we do have some, whether you believe that it was his intention to go out and empower these people or not, it's exactly what he did. He empowered these people to go out and commit these crimes and feel justified because they felt like they were doing what they thought their president would want or what their president would do or what their president was telling them to do. And it's fucked up and it's wrong. Like I said, I still at this point don't even have the words. Like I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm disgusted. Like I don't really know how to put it into context. All I can tell you is stop the hate. Stop the Asian hate. Stop the black hate. Stop the Hispanic hate. Stop the fucking hate. Stop attacking people for the way they look.
Exactly. Exactly.
We need to be better. We need to be better. All right. We're going to continue to address this. It's not something we're just going to let go by the wayside. We're going to continue to bring this up. We're going to continue to address this just like we do Black Lives Matter. Because it's important. It's not something that we can just forget about. And this isn't the first time this has happened in American history. Like this isn't something new. So don't think that, oh, this is just something new or it's a fate. Like, no, it's not. It's not okay. It's not new. It's happened before. It's continuing to happen.
And it's going to continue to happen unless we don't put a stop to it and stand up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get into news and rumors. First and foremost, there was oh god damn it, what fuck, I really wish I had taken better notes. I put Vince weird kink and it was something from the podcast last week and I don't remember what the fuck it was that I wanted to ask you about because I didn't.
My weird kink?
Yes.
What could this have possibly?
Oh, I do remember.
Yes.
All right, so last week I asked you if you would dress up as a furry. And you said that you've been presented with some weird kinks, but never something like that. So now my question is for you, Vince, what is the weirdest kink you've been presented with and turned down? Because now I got to know.
Well, how is this news and rumors though?
I just put it there so I remembered not to forget to ask you, and then I read it and I couldn't remember why, and now we're here. So now we're here.
Fuck. What is the weirdest kink that I... Well, to be fair, I will say this, like, I'm not like that was just a weird kink, but I'm not like, I don't kink shame anyone.
Yeah, we don't kink shame here on the Smackin.
I don't kink shame anyone. So it's not the weirdest thing, but the most recent thing is I've had a girl want to peg me and I'm not into pegging whatsoever. So I had to turn it down and she kept insisting on it. And I was like, dude, what is it with you and my butt? Leave my butthole alone. It's like, I said no. If there's such a thing as consent, it works both ways, damn it. I'm sure deadass girls would be disappointed to know that I'm not into pegging. However, everybody's into their own thing.
At least Gina will be disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's trying to peg me anyways, but again, I'm sure she'd be disappointed to know that I'm not that open about that. Let me think about what's the weirdest thing throughout the show and then ask me before we sign out. How's that?
I'll try to remember that. All right. So rumor is that the Bellas are returning at some point within the next 12 months. You're good with it? You're happy with it?
I love the Bellas.
I'm with you. I'm all for the Bellas returning. If they want to have another run, maybe go after the tag team titles, maybe even win the tag team titles and have a short run as tag team champions.
They should 100% be women's tag team champions. If a Hall of Famer like Edge can come back and wrestle, you've had multiple Hall of Famers come back and wrestle. say what you will about the Bellas, came up in an era of wrestling where they did what they were told. They were supposed to be the arm candy for the celebrity Raw guest host. They were supposed to be in these like pillow fights or whatever kind of matches. They were on the tail end of those things, but they pushed through. They transcended that era and did the best they could to try to keep up in ring wise with the rest of the women. Not only that, they transcended wrestling, getting into Total Divas, getting their own spin off, Total Bellas, getting their own wine. They're like legit business women, and gotta respect them for it. Like, are they the best in ring? No. Nikki has gotten way better than Brie has. Brie needs to learn how to do a suicide dive without making me feel like she's gonna hurt herself. But regardless of the fact, I respect them and I like them. And as a young teenage Latino man, I saw two twin Latina Mexican chicks on SmackDown, and my fantasies were fulfilled. You can't give me twin Mexican girls as a teenager and not expect me to love them for the rest of their careers. That's just I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who wouldn't want twins? I love twins.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm with you. I'm absolutely for this. Definitely would take maybe the suicide dives out of Bree's repertoire, but other than that, like, yeah, if they can train and they can come back, like,
Yeah.
they're great in-ring characters. They improved so much before they left as far as competitors. I was never of the ilk of when people were like, oh, the Bella Twins shouldn't go into Hall of Fame. They're not Hall of Fame worthy. I've always been on the side that they should. And they're part of wrestling
Exactly.
history. They are WWE superstars. So if they can go and they want to come back and they want to do another run, I fully support it because this, along with Tamina, hopefully with Becky, Mickey James, proves that having a child isn't the end of your wrestling career as a female wrestler. Like,
Yeah.
the more women who have children and come back to compete and have careers and continue to do so after having children shows women that you can still be a WWE superstar. You can still have a family. You can still do these things and make it work. And that having a child isn't the end of your career. It's not a, or Lacey Evans as well. It's not like a stopping point where I have to stop wrestling so I can have kids. Like, you have to stop while you're having the child, but it doesn't mean that you're done and over with after that. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's great. And here's the thing: like, people hate on the Bellas just because they like to hate on the Bellas, just like they like to hate on Roman Reigns and other WWE superstars. I will say this: there's guys like Rikishi, even though he's amazing, he's solid. I have nothing against Rikishi, but the Bellas are way more Hall of Fame worthy than Rikishi. Like, no offense to Rikishi, but I don't. Did he even win a mid card belt? Did he ever win like
He was
the IC
he was IC champ.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but again, like, I like Rikishi, but
He also main evented in the Armageddon Hell in a Cell, and he did it for The Rock.
yeah, uh, I don't know. Me personally, I was one of those people that felt like, I don't know if Rikishi's done enough to be Hall of Fame, but
See,
it's a
now
WWE Hall of Fame, so
I was gonna say
criteria is different.
That's my thing. Is really realistically, anyone that has had any sort of tenure, significant tenure in WWE, is worthy of Hall of Fame induction. So you can't just look at Rikishi as Too Cool Rikishi. You have to look at him as Fatu, part of the Head Shrinkers. Like, was it the head? Yeah, it was the Head Shrinkers, not the Wild Samoans, right? Wild Samoans were Alpha and Sinka.
Yeah.
Part of the Head Shrinkers. Like, he had a career that spanned wrestling. He was a tag team wrestler, reinvented himself, came back as Rikishi, was part of Too Cool, had a heel run. Like, guys like Ken Shamrock, never won a world heavyweight title, only IC champion, still think he deserves a Hall of Fame induction. There are a lot of anyone that's had a significant influence on professional wrestling, which I can say Rikishi has, which I can say the Bella Twins have. I can say that about the majority of people that are both in the WWE Hall of Fame and or yet to be in the Hall of Fame,
exactly,
deserve an induction. So.
And then Going back what you were saying is, I think the Bellas as tag team champions would be perfect because they kind of were the reason why I thought women should have tag team titles. The Bellas were a great tag team because back in the day, you had the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix and Natalia. You had Lay Cool. You had the Bellas. So you had like the creation of a women's division, women's tag team division back in the day on SmackDown, and you kind of saw that. And then especially when they did those those 6 women tags when you had Team PCB, you had Team Bella, and then you had Team Bad. There were a bunch of different teams. So like the Bellas were one of the reasons why I felt like women's tag teams could be a possibility.
Speaking of Hall of Fames, Eric Bischoff was announced as the next Hall of Fame inductee for
Yeah.
2021. I thought he should have been inducted with the NWO, but giving him his own separate induction is probably better, because while he was a part of the NWO, he was also the man that whooped Vince's ass for 83 weeks running WCW. He also had a tenure as a GM on Monday Night Raw. He has done more in the wrestling business than just creating and then becoming part of the NWO.
Yeah.
So giving him his own due, his own separate, is better than inducting him with the NWO. When I saw the NWO getting inducted, I was a little disappointed that they didn't include Bischoff because he is the creator. It is his, from his mind,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But giving him his own shit, I'm all for it.
I don't know, when I saw the NWO being inducted, even though I'm not a fan of the man himself, I felt like it should have been just the original 3, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. But when they added X-Pac in there as 6-Pac, it was like, dude, like he's only getting the nod included as NWO because he's like the 5th guy of the clique. That's the only reason. Look, because he was an NWO, but are you trying to tell me that he's more NWO than the Giants?
So I believe the reason for this is there was, I believe, an injury or something happened that kept him from debuting, but I believe he was supposed to be a part of the guys that came in. There was either a contract dispute or something kept him out longer before he could come into WCW and be a part of that. But I mean, he was outside of the first 3, with Hogan's heel turn being the major factor in that, part of that group.
Yeah.
And then left and did the DX thing and cut a promo on WCW, blah, 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 blah.
I just don't think he was that big of a significant member of NWO to warrant him being inducted with the original 3. If that's basically my take. I like nothing against X-Pac or Sean Waltman or whatever. It's just I thought it was odd, and it's like even though what you say may be true, at the end of the day, he didn't debut with NWO.
Not forget, he was also part of WWE NWO.
Then induct Booker T with them then.
Booker T wasn't part of the original NWO. He was part of 2 versions of the NWO. He was part of the WCW version and the WWE version. And the only other people that are Big Show, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. So yeah, I agree Big Show should be inducted with them, but I feel like Big Show's probably going to get his own eventual separate induction after his contract expires with AEW. On his other accolades.
You can't
kind of like Bischoff.
You can't convince me otherwise that the only reason Sean Waltman wasn't included with the original 3 members of NWO is because he's the 5th guy in the clique, and they want to give their clique buddy a Hall of Fame spot, just like with at least with DX, he earns it and he deserves it. NWO, if you're just gonna put in the OGs, no, he doesn't. If you're gonna include X-Pac, include Hogan, include
if there is no NWO 6, there is no DX X-Pac.
You're not gonna win this for me.
I'm just saying.
You could do a poll, but X-Pac is not enough NWO enough to be warranted a Hall of Fame spot with the OG3.
And speaking of Hogan, it was announced that Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan will be the hosts for the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Look, nothing against Titus. I think he might be he'll do a fine job, and I know why they're putting Hogan on there. He's a big name. They're trying to really capitalize on this whole like Peacock thing, right? but it's like you had the perfect setup with Bailey hosting her Ding Dong Hello segment and saying that she's the best host in the world. You had it in the palm of your hand to have her be the host of WrestleMania. Why is Bailey so uninvolved in WrestleMania this year, given that she kind of carried that women's division on SmackDown for the longest, and now she's just not doing anything?
That's a great point. Also, Billie Kay revamping her resume would have been a great choice for host with her new resume.
Billy
I
Kay
agree.
and Bailey would have been fantastic. Them going back and forth on WrestleMania, trying to out host the other. Maybe one of them gets night one, the other one gets nights two, and then you
Billie Kay
set up.
trying to be Bailey's friend.
Yes, and then maybe set up a match in a program on SmackDown following WrestleMania, and then you use that to build a story. It's so simple. It's so simple.
I'm happy for Titus because Titus has been with the WWE. They have not done anything with him, so they're giving him this. It's something for Titus to do. It's going to get him back out there, and so I'm happy for that. I don't need Hulk Hogan at this point in my wrestling career, in my wrestling fandom. I don't need to see Hulk Hogan anymore. I honestly feel like they're doing this because they know that they're going to have fans in attendance, and this is their best chance to put Hulk Hogan back on TV with fans without possibly getting booed, because everyone's going to be excited to be at WrestleMania and be back at the first live event with fans, that they're going to hopefully, I'm guessing in WWE minds, ignore the hatred that has spawned for Hulk Hogan over the years.
Well, they busted him out at WrestleMania when Alexa was the guest, like the guest host. And it's like, I'm going to make a WrestleMania moment just like this. And then Hulk Hogan comes on, they kind of pose. Wrestling fans, like, say what you will, like, for the majority of them, will kind of like look past at what Hogan has done and said. And they were like, oh my gosh, it's Hulk Hogan, and just get like Stargaze of it. Like, even wrestlers are kind of like prone to it. Like, as much as I may like the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, they kind of like look the other way when it comes to the Hogan stuff.
Yeah, but you're not getting an international crowd here because people aren't going to be able to fly in. So you're going to get more of your American hardcore fans that want to go to WrestleMania with the limited amount of tickets and everything. So we'll see how it goes. And then last but not least, there was a COVID outbreak in NXT. I have not received any names of who may be affected.
From what I heard, I think the biggest name involved was Paul Triple H Levesque. That's he was one. We don't know if he actually has it or not, but he's been self-isolated. He's quarantined, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Timothy Thatcher was one of the men involved, which is why he was not on NXT. We haven't seen him. He wasn't on NXT. And also, I heard that Swerve Scott or Leon Ruff, if not both of them, might have been people that could have been exposed, which is why their match was scrapped this week on NXT.
And that's concerning, leading into TakeOver, Stand and Deliver.
Yes.
Depending on who is affected, looks like most of the major storylines and champions and everything seem to be okay and be there. So we'll see how that plays out. Where do you want to start, Vince? Raw, SmackDown, AEW, or NXT?
Well, we've already mentioned two things that were supposed to. One thing that was supposed to happen on NXT and something that happened with NXT. So we might as well just stay on the NXT thought train here.
Wow, you always save NXT for last.
Yeah.
All right, so we kick it off with Finn calling out Karrion Kross, and then Scarlett reads a prophecy about two challengers draped in gold and coaxes Birch and Lorcan out and convinces them to put their titles on the line against Karrion and Finn in our main event.
I loved everything that Karrion Kross did. This felt like a takeover match. Scarlett killed every single vibe for me.
Really?
I am not feeling this whole reading the cards type thing that she's trying to do. I like Scarlett. I think she's great. I'm not feeling this gimmick from her anymore. I don't know what it was, but it felt kind of hokey to me. It felt kind of like cheesy.
You said the same thing about Alexa Bliss, though, didn't you, with the witchcraft?
I said that specific, like her, like being like.
But the witchcraft and the tarot card reading thing they're kind of akin to each other. So this might just be content that doesn't speak to Vince Delgado, because I personally have really enjoyed everything Scarlett's been doing.
No.
I've loved the witchcraft aspect of Alexa and what she's been doing. So
So I was just referring to that specific segment from Alexa. Everything else I've loved about Alexa. I think she's doing fantastic
yeah,
work.
but that's what I'm saying is the specific her in the summoning circle doing the
Yeah.
witchcraft, that sort of deal, and the tarot card readings are of the same ilk. So that kind
No,
of
no.
content might not
I
be.
I was okay. I wasn't like over the moon with the tarot card reading that Scarlett was doing. It was fine. I felt like in that avenue and just like a backstage vignette with Karrion Kross to build something up. I thought it was great. I thought it was solid. I felt like her delivery on the promo was what I didn't like.
Okay.
I just didn't like her delivery. It felt kind of forced, like she was supposed to be like this like mystical like being or whatever, and it didn't really fit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen too much of the Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Impact Wrestling, and I know how she really can be. And honestly, I'd prefer her to go back to her Smoke Show character. And as I like Karrion Kross, I like this whole like mythical thing with like this whole like magical power thing that's similar to like Aleister Black. Uh, I don't know. I just honestly prefer Karrion Kross walking down the ramp, being a fucking badass, and just being
But I mean,
himself.
that's really what he's done. The only mystical element to this is Scarlet and her
Yeah,
prophecies of victory for Carrion. And that's what I'm getting at is I feel like you refer to it as hokey. So I feel like the hokey element for you is the witchcraft element of it, the prophesizing.
I just don't like I. It's not that I don't like it; it's that I don't like it coming from Scarlett. I just don't think it's resonating with me whatsoever right now. Maybe if it was someone else, I think it would kind of fit a little bit more. I think it's hit or miss. Those kind of things I think are hit or miss with people on a person to person basis. And honestly, the more and more she's done it, the more and more I've disliked it. And I prefer just Karrion Kross just kind of be on his own, and Scarlett just be fucking sexy Scarlett again. You know, I don't know.
Now, let me ask you this: how'd you feel about the bump she took?
I'm all for it. I'm all for the bump. Like that's fine. It's just I didn't like the promo.
Because that bump was what led to Finn and Cross losing their tag team title match to Birch and Lorcan. And then afterwards, Karrion Kross destroying everyone. And turns out, I believe it was Danny Birch, ended up actually possibly having a separated shoulder, but did walk away with an injury that is probably going to affect whether or not he and Oni are able to defend those tag team titles or are tag team champions going forward. So, and there was a lot of stuff on Twitter about whose fault that was. And I saw Kenny from McKinney for Your Thoughts posted a GIF that showed that it looked like Danny's arm slipped off of Karrion's head because everyone was blaming Karrion for being unsafe, blah, blah, blah. And that it was just kind of like a freak accident thing that happened. It wasn't really anyone's fault. It's just one of those things that in the aspect of wrestling is a risk to happen and happen. So hopefully Danny is better. But yeah, even after the match, Scarlett comes in and kind of picks up Finn and then gives Karrion the symbol to come in and beat down Finn Balor. And with I'm saying with this mystical tarot reading of Scarlett, it begs for the fucking demon to come back, man. Like,
I don't want the bro. Like, I love the demon. I don't need it to come back. I don't want it to come back. I like this side of Finn that doesn't have the demon. It's honestly, it's working way better. I think maybe main roster just overdid the demon. But
main roster barely ever used the demon. You saw demon more in NXT than you saw in the main roster.
Demon would only come out for takeovers, and with WWE,
and the demon came out maybe 3 times on the main roster.
No, he came out way more. We could probably we'll waste too much time trying to count this and try to prove each other wrong. We'll do this some other time. But the point is that I'm not liking this mystical part of like from Scarlett and Karrion Kross. I'd rather just not have it from them because it's completely different when like if this was like Alexa Bliss and Fiend doing it, I'd fucking love it. I'd eat it up.
But see, that's the thing. I'm a huge horror movie fan, so both the shit that we're getting from Alexa, which again you said you thought was a little bit hokey.
No.
The witchcraft stuff specifically, not everything from Alexa, Vince. The specific thing that we are discussing right now, with her sitting in the circle, summoning the fiend, the fucking Jack in the Box pop up, and
but
making
at least with that makes sense.
Orton spit black fucking cum out of his mouth. You find hokey, just like you said you found Scarlet hokey. This is all stuff of a horror movie-esque, witchcraft-esque ilk that I enjoy as a horror movie fan.
And I get that.
And so is the demon, which is why I would love to see him tap into that demon side to overcome this powerhouse, this beast, and the mystical element that comes with Scarlet backing the Karrion Kross, because I don't know that the demon Finn Balor or that regular Finn Balor can beat Karrion Kross, and I'm fairly certain he's not going to. I'm fairly certain Karrion Kross is the one that's going to take that belt off Finn.
You're probably not wrong here. You're probably right, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
You were also pretty certain that Toni Storm was going to take that title off of Io Shirai. I told you otherwise, but
she should have, but that's neither here nor there. Speaking of horror movie-esque characters,
yes.
we have the return of Dexter Lumis, my man crush, that sexy serial killer bastard, defeating Austin Theory with the killer cuddle, as I like to call it.
Killer cuddle. I like this match. I liked how Austin Theory at first just kind of came in and he was just like, "Oh, I can't believe you said that. Thought we were friends." And then all it took is like one sexy, mesmerizing gaze from Dexter Lumis to Austin Theory, and him like, "I knew you didn't mean that." Like he just, I do not support Austin Theory, given everything that's happened with him outside of the wrestling business. But I will say he's kind of knocking this gimmick out of the park right now.
Andy came out. Oh. What do we have here?
Could it be? No way.
Well, look who came late as shit to the party.
Hiya, pal.
Oh, what's up, Travis?
How you kids doing?
I'm good. Well. We're in the middle of NXT right now.
Oh,
beginning in the middle.
Okay.
Talking about Dexter Lumis and Austin Theory.
Yeah, more or less. Well, before we move on, Travis, I'd love to get your intake on here. How do you feel about Scarlett's whole like witchcraft thing that she's going on? I was saying that I'm starting to feel like it's a little hokey and it takes away from Karrion Kross, and Matt says he still loves it.
Well, as you all might know about me, I enjoy the fuck out of hokey shit. So, I mean, yeah, it's getting hokey, but so what? Like,
oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I told him, like, I'm a horror movie fan. This is a horror movie-esque sort of element character.
Yeah.
So it appeals to me. And horror movies can be mostly very hokey. So
yeah. I mean,
what I enjoy.
My favorite horror series of all time is hokey as shit, Puppet Master.
God damn, it's terrible.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually didn't see any Austin Theory, Dexter Lumis stuff. They cut that from Hulu.
We get to do the bits.
Yeah, we do, because this is the first show we're actually talking about. We went on a little bit of a stop the Asian hate discussion at the beginning of the show. That took up some time, so mix that in with our Black Lives Matter discussion.
Right.
So,
actually, continue. Give me just a second.
Perfect. Because if you're not here, then we can talk about everything. Your favorite women's wrestler, Aaliyah, and her tag team partner, Jessie, are getting a women's tag team title shot against Shotzi and Ember.
Ooh, wow. Shotzi and Ember are so nice to their fans, giving them a tag team title match. Wow. Our champions are so fantastic.
Hey, they're a tag team in the women's division.
They're two people in the women's division.
No, they're a tag team in the women's division. And also, your hate for Aaliyah cannot overshadow the talent that is Jesse Kamehameha.
I'll let you know when I see it.
Oh wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I haven't seen enough of Jessie. I think she's like 2 years away from being 2 years away. I think she's still far away from getting to where she needs to be. I don't think she'll be the next Aaliyah, but you hang around Aaliyah long enough, you might just be that.
Well, Aaliyah's the next Tyler Breeze, so we'll see what happens.
No. Tyler Breeze actually went to main roster and has actually won championship.
And Aaliyah will too, but he was also down in NXT for way longer than everyone else before he got that call up.
I don't know about that. I feel like you're rewriting history again, Matt.
What are we talking about?
Did you see that the Robert Stone brand challenged Shotzi Number to a tag team title match?
Yeah, I did.
That's what we're talking about, because Vince is not a fan of Aaliyah.
That's kind of rude. She died, bro.
I give her props. No matter what they do to her in NXT, she dusts herself off and tries again every single time.
Yeah, no bullshit. Like, yes, that was a joke, but yes,
she's like the little engine that could.
She is.
I will give her that.
The whole Robert Stone thing kind of should have killed her, but it didn't.
Man, like honestly, with Aaliyah, man, I feel like she's a lifer. She's gonna be one of those people that live and like live down in NXT and never go up to main roster.
Travis, did you happen to see the stuff with Adam Cole?
I saw his promo, and I saw, Kyle on the Titantron. All yeah, I saw the stuff with Adam Cole. I had to make myself remember. Sorry.
Did Adam Cole see them get arrested?
I did see them get arrested.
Okay,
so
perfect.
Adam Cole's mad at Kyle O'Reilly for sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, for never being as good as him since 2009. Blah blah blah. Regal informs Adam after he called out Kyle O'Reilly that Kyle is banned from the arena. Kyle then shows up and starts talking shit about Adam Cole on screen, which pisses off Adam Cole. He says that because Kyle threatened him, he's not going to wait around for Kyle to find him. He's going to go find Kyle first, which then led us to the outlying parts of the most dangerous place in professional wrestling, the road that leads to the parking lot of NXT, where Kyle O'Reilly tried to commit vehicular homicide on Adam Cole.
Nah, vehicular assault at best, all right? Like, I don't think he was trying to kill him. He just wanted to hurt him. I think this is vehicular assault at worst.
Okay. We do find out
that at worst, because something could have gone wrong and it would have been vehicular manslaughter. But like,
we do find out that Kyle
death was not the intent here
for attempted vehicular assault. And Adam Cole is okay and pissed. Regal says that if the charges are dropped, he is going to invite both men to the CWC next week, where he will have a solution to fix this problem. And I am very intrigued as to what kind of special solution William Regal has planned for Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly to settle this issue.
Can we say that if it doesn't happen in this feud, at some point we need to have a parking lot brawl in the NXT parking lot?
I remember parking lot brawls.
Like, we need that. How has that not been the thing?
Surrounded by cars, just like in the old day with Eddie. Yeah.
Well, what about the cinematic Velveteen Dream, or Patrick, depending on how you want to refer to him, versus Adam Cole match that we got?
But did that happen in the parking lot?
I feel like it was. Well,
some of it moved out to the parking lot, but it wasn't like a
no. I need like an actual.
No, he wants a parking lot brawl. I know what he's talking about.
Like, they need to be in the parking lot. It's established that the NXT
Eddie
parking
versus
lot.
Cena.
Yes, Eddie versus Cena was amazing, but it has to be NXT parking lot over there in Full Sail. It's
surrounded by cars, so they like inside that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
it's been established to be the most dangerous place in all of wrestling.
Clearly.
How we've not had a match there yet? It's more dangerous than the fight pit.
Aleister Black got knocked out there.
Mm-hmm. It dealt with Tommy, which we never found out.
Like, completely off the subject, but like, I purposely didn't drink during Super Flashy this week so I could drink during this podcast, and I'm so happy I did.
What you drinking there, Travis?
Oh, this is Maker's Mark.
Okay, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Breezango versus Legado del Fantasma?
I know that match happened. I'm not positive if I saw it though, because it's one of those things that I think I may have saw some shit on YouTube.
After the
or
match,
Instagram.
Jordan Devlin came out and challenged Escobar.
I did not. There you go. Thank you.
Did you see Zoe Stark versus Dakota Kai?
I did.
Zoe Stark, they like even in her loss to Dakota Kai, they clearly have
They got
plans for
her.
Zoe Stark. She's been getting promos. I mean, Dakota Kai is an established talent. She did not get squashed here. She had a hell of a match with Dakota Kai. They've got plans for her. And after the match, Io Shirai walks down to the ring, breezes right past Dakota Kai as if she's not even fucking relevant.
No, you got the Giant Gonzalez in the ring, you know,
and signs the contract on Giant Gonzalez's chest.
Fucking badass.
I mean, how else do you establish your dominance against somebody that much bigger than you, you know? I mean, the only other thing you can do is like literally like, I don't know, piss on her car or something. Like
I think that's
squat in the ring
territory.
And piss mark your territory. Yeah,
that's marking territory, not establishing dominance.
Vince?
Yes.
Where'd all the pops go?
Oh, I'm moving. So I started the process of packing. So
Were they gone last week?
No, they
okay. I'm like, I would have noticed last week because I still, put the show together and put it up, and it's just
no. This happened early this week because I got the keys.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I got the keys this past Monday, and I started.
I know you were moving.
All the DVDs are gone too, or Blu-rays are gone too.
Yeah, I'm just talking about that whole shelf being empty. It's just the pops was the first thing I noticed.
All my stuff is gone. It's literally only stuff that my brother has. I still have some figures above on the top that I still need to get rid of. But those I'm taking with me.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you see Ciampa or did you have anything you wanted to add about Io Shirai, Vince, before we move on?
No, that I just fucking love how much of a fucking badass she is and knows what she wants. I love women that know what they want and tell me up front. I hate playing these guessing games. I love that
shit too.
No, I hate playing these guessing games, man. Just tell me what you want. You want a Giant Gonzalez? Okay. Give it to me.
Then you lucky you get one that'll shave your hair for you and everything. It's fucking amazing.
Vince likes girls that walk up,
that's why I was late,
pin a consent form to his chest, and then sign it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Matt gets me.
Consent form written and signed on your chest, hand it to me. Yeah.
Also, I just love a little woman that's a little bit more aggressive from time to time.
Yeah. Check here for anal. All that.
No. Ashley, if you were here earlier on, I had a girl that wanted to peg me, and I turned it down. I'm not into anal for myself.
I was gonna say, I mean,
what if she likes it in the ass? See, I wasn't even talking about you. Why are you being so selfish right now?
Pretty sure
this is not about you right now, Vince. Sometimes it's about the lady's pleasure. All right, God.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
No, he's not coming because he won't fuck her in the ass.
Oh, Travis, did you see?
You don't know where I'm coming, Travis. You don't know. You don't know what's going on.
We know it's not in the butt.
I don't, but I'm concerned. That's the problem.
No. Everything is right as rain. Everything's right where it should be. Everything's getting taken care of.
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, if you misplaced it, there would be some other issues.
No. I mean,
is it attached? Do you detach yours? Does it come up missing sometimes?
There is a song called "Detachable Penis."
No, I don't think mine.
Yo, what if we could do that though? Like,
it would. That would really
I'd
help
lose it.
those. Like honestly,
I guarantee
that would help with those awkward boners in high school and middle school.
Yeah. One of those things. Not even that. Like, just take it off and put it in a case before you go to school, so you don't have those problems while you're there. When you come home and you put it back on, you beat your dick, and then you're good.
Maybe in grade school, I needed it in high school because I used it at school in high school, so I needed to have that with me.
You're right.
I'm just talking about the awkward boners walking down the hallway that you had to kind of cover up and shit.
So,
yeah, the theater orchestra pit was my best friend in high school.
All right, Travis, did you see Ciampa versus Bartel?
Yeah, I saw him whoop the fuck out that dude.
Ciampa was on fire. He is pissed off. We did discuss earlier that the reason that it seems Thatcher wasn't there and possibly Alexander Wolf is due to the COVID outbreak that happened in NXT, he is one of the suspected people that may have contracted COVID. So him not being there led to them going this version of the story where Ciampa not only defeats Bartel, but basically is defeating Bartel and Fabian Eichner at the same time because he's kind of fighting 2-on-1, even though Fabian's not part of the match.
It's funny because when he was doing that interview earlier, when he was talking to Mike, and I'm like, he's saying these names. I'm like, who the fuck is he talking about?
Imperium.
I'm like, oh, it's them dudes from Imperium. Oh, I don't know their names. All I know is the leader dude.
Walter.
Yeah, Walter. I know him. I don't know who them other motherfuckers are, though.
Speaking of Walter, Matt. Speaking of Walter. Holy fucking shit. I was not expecting.
So we getting Ciampa versus Walter? I'm with it.
I think that's where this
I'm pretty sure
going.
we are leading to. So Walter is in the building. Imperium comes down and destroys Ciampa, and Ciampa takes one of the nastiest chops from Walter I have ever seen. I mean, he smacked a bitch up. He smacked it raw.
He did. It was it was some serious choppage going on there.
I need to take some notes. That might be useful down the line.
Serious choppage.
Yeah. It's all about the where you're chopping, though.
Chopper style.
Listen.
Yeah.
Chop. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you see LA Knight's big debut?
Who?
LA Knight.
Oh yeah. I saw him in the back, and then I saw LA Knight. Yes, I did see that.
All right, so LA Knight wins his debut against the Jobber, even though Bronson Reed, who thought he was going to get this match, came out and tore his jacket to shreds and tried to cause a distraction.
Such a hater, man.
How did you feel about the in-ring debut of LA Knight and the way he was presented? Impressed?
Interesting character. We'll see where they go with it. His, in-ring work was nothing like, oh, it blew me away, but it wasn't bad or anything. So we're just like, okay, we'll see what you do with the character. And that's usually what gets me anyway, because like the in-ring work is secondary to me. I know this is like taboo to say on a wrestling podcast, but whatever. In-ring work is secondary to me. If you're an interesting character, that's what I want to see. I'm watching TV. So
he's gonna be very similar to like an MJF kind of guy where like in-ring he's not the best. He's not terrible, but he's not the best. But it's all about his character work and his mic work and how great of a heel he's going to be. And I feel like LA Knight has that.
Exactly. Tell that story in the ring with the character that you created. Don't just act one way on the mic and then be just your run of the mill dude in the ring. Like do something that like stands out as far as your character goes with your in ring work.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like Daniel Bryan, but but you do have to be a character while you're in the ring as well. And if you can do that with that character, I'm with it.
Fair enough. And since we already talked about the main event along with the opening segment, the only thing we have left, not good enough. Oh my God, I haven't said that in so long. Not good enough for Hulu, NXT edition. Breezango loses to Legado del Fantasma. Afterwards, Escobar asks commentary where Devlin was. Devlin appears. Escobar makes the challenge, and Devlin headbutts him in the face and delivers a Devlin side suplex. We are getting Cruiserweight Champion versus Cruiserweight Champion at Stand and Deliver.
I fucking love it. I kind of figured this match needed to happen from the moment Santos Escobar.
Who's Cruiserweight champ right now?
Technically, they both are.
Escobar is the interim Cruiserweight Champion, and Jordan Devlin was the pre-COVID Cruiserweight Champion.
Oh.
And then he went back.
They did have a Cruiserweight title before COVID.
Yeah. He went over to NXT UK where he was from and then got trapped over there because of COVID.
Yeah. So this is a match that everybody kind of knew was coming, but man, both guys seem very intense. I love this. This might be one of my sleeper matches at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And man, that headbutt busted Escobar wide open. There's some real hate here between the two of them. I like it.
Mm-hmm. And Escobar's still hurt from the way he got embarrassed by Karrion Kross a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. as he should be.
I mean,
I'd be too.
he got in the ring with Karrion Cross, so yeah.
He didn't. Well, he eventually he got.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he went he stepped to Karrion Cross, and
I was gonna say he and his boys got their ass beat all over the NXT arena. And
I
eventually he
mean,
got
if you really look at what's happening here, he stepped to the dude that beat Keith Lee. So I mean, speaking of which, I miss Keith Lee.
So
Yes, I did.
NXT better swallow.
Yeah.
As
swallow.
someone who hadn't watched NXT in a while, I'll swallow it because it was good. It was, a good change of pace for me. It was like, the weeks that I haven't been doing this show, I watch what I can when I have time. So it's like, I'll usually catch Raw. Most of the time I'll see SmackDown. NXT is a maybe, maybe not. AEW's a probably not. I watched it this week, but it was just most weeks probably not. So it was fun to catch up, see what's happening in on the Gold brand. It was cool.
I would say it's probably not the best episode of NXT, but I'm still gonna swallow because it wasn't a bad episode. It was just kind of like running the course type of episode.
I mean, they gave me attempted vehicular assault. They gave me more Finn Balor Karrion Cross to build that feud going into Stand and Deliver, and then they gave me the Cruiserweight Champion versus Cruiserweight Champion shit that I've been waiting for a while.
They set up 4 or 5 matches for his takeover Stand and Deliver. If you really think about it, between Gonzalez and Shirai, the Cross versus Balor, the Cruiserweight Champion match, O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, and what was the other one I was gonna make?
Did you say Walter Ciampa?
Walter Ciampa. Yeah, Walter Ciampa. They've already done more to build this takeover than main roster has for WrestleMania.
I mean, the main events are set, so
Ish.
Oh, they're set. They're set.
Ish.
All right. No, there's no ish. Those main events are set. There's no way that we're not getting Edge versus Roman at WrestleMania, and there's no way that we're not getting Bianca versus Sasha. Stop bullshitting.
We might get Edge versus Roman versus Daniel Bryan, though. It might not be set in stone as a singles match. That's what I'm saying. They're set-ish. We're getting Edge in the main event.
If
we
they
just don't know
that if triple threat bullshit. You know how I feel about that shit.
Get ready to be pissed off because that's what it's looking like.
Oh, I'd be so mad. I'll still watch it, of course, because whatever.
Travis, where do you want to go next? AEW, SmackDown, or Raw?
Let's smack it down.
All right. So we kicked it off with Bianca and Sasha arguing over Reggie because
missed the first 25 minutes, by the way. So
well, be happy you did, because we're still stipulating the entire Sasha Bianca feud around fucking Reggie and his existence. And
I don't like how nice Bianca Belair has been
to Sasha,
to everybody, period.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like Bianca Belair to me right now, and that bothers me.
She doesn't have that attitude.
Yeah, she doesn't have that attitude, that swag that she normally has. Is like, yeah, fuck you, I'm better than you kind of thing. Like, she's been way too reverent towards Sasha, and I don't like it.
Since she's won the Rumble, her whole attitude and demeanor has been happy to be here.
Yeah, and that's not who she is, and I hate that they did that to her.
I just hate that they've decided that the best way to build a feud between these two women going into WrestleMania is Reggie.
Well, they have no choice because they turned Bianca into this goody old nice girl, and they need some reason for them to have some kind of conflict, so they threw this nigga in there. And I'm just, what the fuck?
Honestly, like, one of them should be heel, and it should be Sasha. And unfortunately, I've been saying this for weeks, that they're going to do what they did with Shinsuke and AJ. Two wrestlers that respect each other. They get to WrestleMania. One of them is going to turn on the other, and then we're actually going to get a decent feud after WrestleMania when it should be at Mania.
Building it to WrestleMania. Exactly.
Yeah,
WrestleMania should be your period, not your comma. Like, just
pray to God they don't make the same mistake they made with AJ and Shinsuke, and they actually put the belt on Bianca.
Oh, don't jinx it, man, because they will totally have Sasha cheat to retain her title and then turn heel in the process, and now they'll have the legit chase for the title. No pun intended.
And it's just ugh.
So
And the thing is, it's the thing is with that is like, I can't be too mad at that because we all know heel Sasha is the best Sasha. But like, come on now, like
it's WrestleMania. Like,
it's WrestleMania, time for new beginnings. You know, time to end things, start new things. And yo, you got Bianca right here. She's fucking ready, dude. Like, it's not even like, you know, we got to build her up a little bit. She got to learn a little bit more. Like, nah, dude. Like, she's fucking ready.
And
just do it.
If you're a fan of Bianca Belair, you went through this in NXT where she was ready to take that title off of Shayna Baszler, and they didn't. And instead, they just kind of pushed her over to the side and then gave it to Rhea Ripley instead. And I'm not hating on Rhea Ripley. I'm just saying Bianca Belair should have been the one to take the title off of Shayna Baszler. She should be the one to take the title off of Sasha Banks. You could always turn Sasha heel afterwards and have her chase the title.
You know, I thought the same thing at that time too, but I was one that like I kind of like held that back mostly because like I had just really started watching NXT at the time, so I didn't know what the dynamic was on that roster. But I felt the same way. But I'm like, maybe there's more to this that I just haven't been watching. I don't know because Rhea's that person for them now, and it's just time for her. Okay, but
the issue that Bianca ran into is the same issue that so many women ran into with Asuka. Is they're building up. They like to build up their heel women's champions. They did it with Asuka. They did it with Shayna, and they kind of do it with Io Shirai as well, where they have those one champions that are very dominant and hard to beat, and just not everybody wins against them.
I mean, it makes sense though. The whole concept of the babyface is chasing the dominant heel, but it's just
you gotta let the babyface win eventually.
Eventually, exactly. But you can't do the opposite because then you end up with John Cena. So we don't want that.
Yeah.
So, well, you know what? I mean, if you're WWE, you do want that because that was very profitable for them. But you know, the rest of us don't want that because we're just, you know, if you're like me, you're just sick of that motherfucker. So we don't want to get sick of your babyface.
Or you could just risk turning her into the next Charlotte.
So Shayna botched a kick that was meant for Sasha, hit Nia, which led to Sasha defeating Nia.
Was sloppy.
It was. And then afterwards, Shayna and Nia are fighting, and Shayna says she's going to make it up by challenging Bianca to a match later in the night, a match that I did not see. So what happened between Bianca and Shayna?
I didn't catch it either, unfortunately.
Did we all miss that match?
Apparently, because I was driving. I didn't miss it. I think I heard it, but I wasn't paying attention to it.
I was distracted.
I had a phone call and was not be able to pay attention. So
that match was not good enough for Smackin' and Raw, apparently.
Basically, like who won that match?
God damn it, guys!
Is there a way? Hold on, let me see if I can find out who won that match. The one
thing that I didn't see all week, I've got two other people here, and you both missed it.
You gotta warn us about shit like that, dude. Like if you didn't see it, like yo, I didn't see this one match. Tell me, you need to know what happened here. Like
honestly, both Travis obviously has this this demeanor going into this, but now I've picked up on it. I kind of I assume Matt watched this.
Yeah. That's what I do. So I assume Matt saw everything. So if I get distracted, if I have something else to do, I'll just do that while it's playing in the background. I'll kind of know maybe what happened.
To be fair,
but he'll fill me in. I'm not worried.
To be fair, SmackDown is the one show that I have had the most issue watching all the way through due to shit going on at that time. And on multiple occasions over the last couple of weeks, I've told you, Vince, I missed this and asked you what happened, and you have filled me in. On multiple occasions.
Oh, so this is Vince's fault. Okay, we'll go with that.
No, fuck off, Travis. That's not what is going on here.
The fuck did you just say to me?
Hey, you know what?
Motherfucker.
I don't think he can mute me this
I don't think you. Oh, I can't mute people. I'm not in charge of this fucking chat. God damn it.
Saved by the bell.
Matt, mute him for me. If you love me, mute him for me.
I did. He's muted.
Thank you. Fuck you, dude. Like, I run this shit even when I don't run.
So we also had an Edge interview.
Did you mute Travis?
I've always wanted to do that. I have always wanted to do that, and I finally have the power.
Touche. I'll let you have that one.
We had that Edge interview.
No contest.
No contest. Okay. So hey, we had Bianca versus Shayna. Nobody won.
Yeah.
Edge interview. Thoughts going into his match with Jey Uso?
I liked it. It's kind of hard for Edge to cut a bad promo, and I loved how he really made you feel like SmackDown was his home, which I've stated for a long time.
I mean, it is, yeah.
Like, if you start to build a SmackDown 6 of all time SmackDown wrestlers, Edge is on that list, no, without a question.
Why 6?
Because remember how back in the day was the SmackDown 6?
No.
So back in the day, it was the thing.
When was this?
Back in the early 2000s.
When Paul Heyman was GM of SmackDown, and he was building SmackDown to be something.
There was the SmackDown 6. It was the Guerreros, Benoit.
You said early 2000s?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was in band in Marion. Like, I was never at home on Friday nights or Thursday nights or any night, actually, because it was just I always had band rehearsal. That makes sense. I didn't really see a lot of SmackDown back then. Now I get it. Now I know why I don't know what you're talking about. Cool.
Say that leads us back to the conversation we had earlier about Travis in high school and the pit. So, yeah.
That was part of it.
Other priorities.
Yeah.
We got Seth running his mouth about Cesaro. I love this because Shinsuke comes down taking issue to it, and I have not seen this Shinsuke in a long, long time. This is NXT Shinsuke. This is the Shinsuke that we wanted to get in that WWE title run. The Shinsuke that we all knew and loved that kind of went away when he turned heel, joined Cesaro, did the tag. Like, we haven't seen this Shinsuke in a while, and it felt familiar and it felt good to have this Shinsuke back. And Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke, whether it's at Fastlane or WrestleMania, it's going to be a fucking dope-ass match.
I just want to once again hear Corey Graves go Kinshasa. It's my favorite part of every Shinsuke match. So
maybe we'll get to see it on Sunday for Fastlane.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I need. And that makes me happy.
Street Profits lose to the Mysterios, who then lose to Alpha Academy. And the entire time, Rudolph, because I am not calling them the Dirty Dogs.
No, that's Rudolph. Yeah.
Commentary, dodging challengers for their tag team titles.
And they weren't even entertaining on commentary. Why were they there?
No idea.
Like, you're not good at this. Don't do that ever again.
Honestly, they're clearly trying to set up one of those standard WrestleMania Fatal 4-Way multi-person tag title matches that they always fucking do.
Bullshit.
That's what we're getting.
That shit.
We're getting the Mysterios, Alpha Academy, Street Profits, and Rudolph for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. It's gonna happen.
I'd care more if they were building the idea that we got from Rey Mysterio that he wanted to tag with his son so that he could eventually retire and pass along the legacy and the mask to his son. If that was a story they were trying to tell us and build to us, I'd care more about the Mysterios. Now all I care about is Rey being Dominic's backpack in the entrance, and then I stop caring.
I kind of see that.
Yeah, you could give him like one of those baby harnesses, you know?
I have one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he needs one. They need a baby harness for Rey so Dominic can carry him out. You know what? Not even on the back. He needs to carry him in the front. That's what I want to see. And if they don't do it, WrestleMania is officially trash.
Yeah. What were you going to say about the Mysterios or the possible Fatal 4-Way?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Oh, no. I was actually going to say that Dominic makes me kind of wish that I have a tall son so that he can give me a piggyback ride too, because I'm only a short 5'7". I'm tall for most Mexicans, or I'm the average Mexican size. But
how tall are you?
5'7". But globally, I'm classified as short.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I date short Mexican girls, so it all.
There you go. That works out for you. You know,
it works out.
He doesn't watch Mexican porn, but he dates short Mexican girls.
I watch Mexican porn.
You do not watch Mexican porn. We discussed this.
We talked about this because you don't know who La Serena 69 is.
It's mostly amateur Mexican porn. I try to keep it authentic.
You told me that most of your porn searches involve black and white women, not Hispanic
Oh,
women,
no,
but
no.
you date
Black
what
and
you
Asian.
don't. Black and
Black
Asian.
Black and Asian are my preference, and Latinas are there too.
Who's your favorite Asian star?
Fuck is her name? Oh man, hold up. I'm actually gonna.
He don't even know her name, man.
I don't
He
fucking
don't
know her.
watch Asian
I
porn.
was gonna say I have just expected him to throw out Asa Akira just because that's like the
Yeah, that's the
no.
one that
Big
everybody
Asian
knows.
name?
Exactly.
Hell no. Like nothing against Asakura, but no, that's not the one. I actually gotta like I don't remember porn stars' names unless like.
How do you not remember? Like, okay.
Continue on. I'll let you know.
Well, while Vince is researching random porn stars to give us a name,
As Vince searches Asian porn right now, because that's what we do here. Oh man,
we got
I
the
miss this show. Like no bullshit. Like I miss doing this every week.
we got KO saying he's not sure about the documentary, letting Sammy try to
Mara
be.
won't search porn on the podcast with me. Like it's just it just doesn't
What
happen.
the fuck's wrong with Mara?
It's nothing. I mean, in fairness, I've never asked. Like it's just. Like it doesn't come up in the conversation.
Do you know the abundance of superhero porn and parody porn that there is on the internet that you guys could talk about?
Oh, we could do an entire separate podcast on that if I had time. Like
exactly. I'm just saying.
If I had the time, I swear to God, I would do a full like podcast on superhero parody porn. Like, because it is probably some of the most entertaining shit on Pornhub. Which we're back on, by the way, in case I know Matt has said it several times because he's so happy that we are.
Yeah,
but
I'm really glad about that too. Okay, so 3 names. So they're just like names that I didn't know about. I just saw the videos. I saw enough of their videos. So it's I'm sorry if I butcher these names. It's Aika Yumino, Aimi Yoshikawa, and Anri Okita. Like legit, these are like fucking dope.
These are 95% sure he just searched Asian porn and just named the first 3 ones he saw.
No,
that were kind of recognizable to him that he's seen before.
No,
he doesn't know any of them. He doesn't. It's fine. I'm not judging you for it. Yes, I am. But it's just, No,
I'm actually right here on my saved like porn star subscription.
Oh, you in your favorites? They in your favorite videos? Your favorite videos on Pornhub? Okay.
So while you're in there, while we've got you, while you're in there, so it should be a lot quicker this time. Who's your favorite black porn star?
Ooh, that's a good number there. That's
Misty Stone.
Missy. Oh, I love Missy Stone. Missy Stone's actually my first back in the day. I think it was like a Flintstones parody one that I watched.
Oh, if we're going back in the day, it's Jada Fire, but right now it's Misty Stone. Like she just, I like
Channel Sky.
It's so weird with Misty Stone because she doesn't have a lot of things that I love in women, but like her in general, just her vibe is just like. All
right, we need to get back to SmackDown.
No, let's keep talking about porn. So like.
Like I said, KO said he isn't sure about this documentary. He says he tries to be a good friend. He's like, listen, Sammy, I think you're kind of twisting some shit around in your head. Like, I think you're seeing some shit that's not there. Sammy's like, no, trust me, it's happening. Come down to the ring tonight and tell me you don't see some shenanigans. And if you tell me you don't see some shenanigans, I'll drop the whole documentary. I'll drop all of it. It's done and over with. Then we get a fucking promo that I absolutely loved. It is a video package of the least anticipated match in SmackDown.
I was so happy I saw this. Like, I'm just, did they really do this? Oh, this is so amazing. Like, oh my God. If I had a wrestling promotion, I'd do shit like this all the time. Like, it's so great.
Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn.
Unfortunately, there must be a winner.
Luckily, there has to be a loser. And as KO's like, I don't know what they're talking about with this conspiracy stuff. Even Corey Graves like, did you not just see the fucking video package they put together for Sammy? I'm like, you know what? Now I'm kind of agreeing with Sammy. Like when you bury a guy like this on TV from the promotion, like there's something going on. But Sammy continues to try and cheat and fails at it. Baron Corbin picks up the win. Kevin Owens is like, dude, like I just saw good officiating.
I just saw you lose. Like, what happened here?
Sammy gets pissed, hits KO with a haluva kick, and then goes on shouting about how KO needs to open his eyes. He's blind, blah, blah, blah. Setting up probably what Vince wanted, heel Sami Zayn versus face KO at WrestleMania, more than likely in some sort of stipulation match or some sort of match with some kind of stakes going forward. So I'm for it.
Some kind of steaks.
We
Ribeye.
got-
It's my favorite.
Did you have something, Vince?
No.
Okay.
No. Go ahead.
Did you want to say Tiana Trump real quick? Then we can move on, or
No, I was gonna mention also Lovely.
Tiana Trump too.
yeah.
I was gonna mention also Lovely. I don't know if Travis knows about her or not.
Oh yes, that chocolate goddess there. Yes, I love her actually. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
another name was
She's in this video. This one film about just cheating black wives. Yeah, She Will Cheat. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. I love it. She fucks this dude in the bar. I actually
Sarah
just saw that
Banks.
yesterday. It's one of my favorite shits. Yeah.
Sarah Banks.
Oh yeah, she's a new one. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. She's one of the few that like I like you better post boob job.
Really? No.
Yeah, normally after somebody gets a boob job, they kind of like lose personality,
This is all my fault.
but she didn't.
Yeah, but you know who is losing personality is this whole like Sami Zayn character. I really don't like what's going on here.
I thought you were gonna name another porn star. You disappoint me.
I'll try not to disappoint Matt. Unfortunately, I do the show with him every week, so I kind of have to keep him happy. you know?
It's not hard to disappoint Matt though. Like
No,
Matt,
I know, but
you can disappoint Matt very easily. I do it on a regular basis. One of my favorite things to do, actually.
no, but see, here's the thing. Regardless of what kind of perception you were trying to put out there about me, I am a generous partner, whether that's in the bedroom or in the podcasting world. I'm trying to like make sure that Matt is fully satisfied when we do the show.
and Sami Zayn was.
But who cares if the
losing.
black guy's satisfied? I see. You satisfy the white guy, but the black guy just gets to, just leave him hanging. I see. That's fine. Go ahead, Matt.
That's my privilege.
Yeah, clearly that's what it is. And you know what? I applaud you for reflecting the way the world is on this podcast.
Daniel Bryan talks about tapping out Roman, about how he's going to tap out Roman. Roman Reigns says he would rather die than tap out. He has never submitted. He would lose an arm and he would die in the ring before he ever tapped out to Daniel Bryan.
And I believe it.
And Daniel Bryan says, well, that's kind of extreme, but I'm going to win and I will make you tap at Fastlane. That is a guarantee.
I liked it. I like the whole like.
I
Daniel Bryan
did
stuff.
until he said that's a guarantee, because it reminds me of this manager I had at a job I had before. He used to always say that's not a threat, that's not a promise, that's a guarantee. And I hated him so much. And so when he said that, it's just like,
You know what though,
fuck you,
Travis?
Omar.
If you ever become a wrestler, you need to, as a heel, imbue that and make that your catchphrase.
We've talked about this before. I would never be a wrestler. I'd be a manager. I'd be that dude that
Either
pisses
way.
everybody off.
Either way, you come out just like Paul Heyman with that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. That's not a threat.
That's not a promise. That's a guarantee. You're right. That'd be a hell of that'd be a hell of a catchphrase if I was a manager. You are absolutely right. And you know what? He was a manager. He was a shitty manager. I fucking hate him. You know what? He is the perfect heel manager. You are right. I take back what I said about Omar Rubio.
We got Big E and Apollo doing a
I said
sit-down
his full
interview.
government name on this podcast. Fuck him. Sorry.
Big E insinuates that he is going to cripple Apollo. He's like, take the next couple days.
What about Biggie?
Big E
Oh,
insinuates that he's going to cripple Apollo. He says, do me a favor, take the next couple days to enjoy
Vince
the
had to turn
weather.
his camera off so he could stroke his dick to Misty.
Yeah,
Stone
well,
real
now
quick.
you got him fucking looking up porn, and he's probably got a
I
fucking
know he's got to
hard
stroke
on.
his dick now. It's fine.
I know for a fact from last episode he's got on-hand lotion right there at the desk.
I mean, do what you got to do, bro. I
Just
get it.
make sure you mute your mic as well, Vince.
No, man, don't mute it. Let the people hear it.
We don't need to hear.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I will advertise that he muted his mic.
So Biggie insinuates he's basically going to cripple Apollo to enjoy the next couple days of full use of his limbs.
Yeah.
Apollo still. How do you feel about Apollo's Nigerian accent?
I was about to bring that up. I'm just like, really? it's one of those things. I don't think that was necessary, but like
That was quick.
okay. I mean, he's selfish. We've talked about this before.
No. Stop implying things. Stop it.
So we talked about this. Well, you weren't here. Apparently, this is actually his native accent. And he discussed it in a promo last week or 2 weeks ago, where he said that he basically code switched to be accepted and stopped talking this way to cover up and be accepted and not be picked on.
So that's his natural accent is the way he's speaking right now.
Is what they're, from what I hear, yes, and from what they're portraying, or at least in character, that's what they're portraying.
Well, yeah, in character, yes, but I'm just talking about in general.
I was told that he is actually Nigerian. This is his accent, and he was doing this on the Indies before he came to WWE.
I mean, I believe that he's Nigerian, that he has Nigerian ancestry. I've known people that way, but they don't have accents naturally either. So it's just, I'm just curious, you know. If he was like born there, like was raised there kind of thing, then yeah, maybe he'd have an accent. But if he was born and raised here, most of them who are born and raised here don't have accents.
That one guy from the one podcast that's very disrespectful that you don't like, he knows more about him as Wuhan Nation, so he would be more informed about that.
What did he say? This person who we do not speak of here while I'm around.
Apparently that he looked up his name and it was like a legit like Nigerian.
Reek was talking about, and
we do not speak his name in my presence.
We speak Reek's name. We don't.
No, I don't like him right now either.
What did Reek do?
I don't know. I just felt like saying.
I was gonna say I was gonna talk to you about doing a Dragon Ball Z podcast with Vince and Reek, 2-episode little special.
And Justin.
If we're not speaking his name, well, we were gonna do one episode with Justin and one episode with Travis. But if Travis doesn't want to speak Reek's name right now, if he's got a problem with Reek, maybe we'll just leave Travis out.
Here's the thing, sir. You threatening me by telling me I'm not doing something is not going to work out in your favor.
No. I'm not threatening you by saying you're not going to do it. I was just saying I was going to offer you it, but if you have an issue with Reek, then we'll just forget it.
Here's the thing. You also need to understand, if I have a problem with somebody, it doesn't stop me from doing a podcast. Well, you see, I'm here with Vince right now.
Hey, what's that supposed to do? I see you laugh react to my post on Facebook. We're friends now, damn it. And you've embraced me.
Listen, Vince, on the podcast, we keep kayfabe.
I'm sorry.
Kind of like how you didn't speak his name and you remembered not to speak his name on the podcast to keep kayfabe.
That's because I have respect for Travis as a person.
Do you,
though? Friend.
You did the last time.
I do.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Big E does not have respect for Apollo. He hunted that man down.
We're talking about wrestling right now. That's right.
He hunted that man down in a golf cart.
He did. He has zero respect for Apollo Crews.
And then whooped his ass.
I like how Apollo just decided to like bolt and run off in the golf cart. I thought that shit was hilarious.
Well, yeah, if I saw a man, like we have seen in the last year, multiple people run over by a golf cart on wrestling. So if I see a golf cart coming for me, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Last but not least, Edge defeats Jey Uso, becoming the special enforcer in the championship match at Fastlane.
Shock.
Yeah.
Who didn't see that shit coming? It was either have Jimmy, that was Jimmy, right?
Jay.
Other twin. At ringside during this fucking match, like he's at like every fucking Roman match, or have something different and have Edge at ringside during this match. Which one do you fucking think they're gonna do?
So Travis, do you see how this could line up to be a triple threat match with Edge as the enforcer?
I refuse to accept that's gonna happen.
Because if Edge costs, say, Daniel Bryan the title shot, then there's going to be a discrepancy.
Yep.
You see the path here, right?
Don't like this shit, and you know it.
I know you don't. I agree. I want a singles match as well.
I want Edge versus fucking Roman Reigns. If you're not gonna give me Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, give me fucking Edge versus Roman Reigns. All right.
Daniel Bryan and Roman also come out after the match, and Bryan gets laid out by Roman. Roman standing with the title.
Yeah, because he's Roman fucking Reigns.
SmackDown, spit or swallow.
Swallow that shit.
Yeah, I'll swallow it too.
All right, I will swallow as well. Vince, you got anything to add on that last segment before we move on?
No, I think you guys.
Roman scared the fuck out of him. He should.
Yeah.
I
Do
was
it
not a
again.
fan of Edge's spear on Jay to win the match.
I've never been a fan of Edge's spear, period. So
Fair point. Fair point.
Okay.
they've always tried to explain how his spear is so devastating. Like he has those long legs to launch himself, but like his knees are like always bent when he does it. So it's like he's not even using his leg power to really do it. So it's just your spear looks subpar to the likes of Roman Reigns and Goldberg and those who have done this spear much better than you. But whatever.
Where are we going next? AEW or Raw?
Aw.
Raw.
No. Aw.
Oh, AEW. Okay. So we kick it off with Penta losing to Cody Rhodes. Penta jumps Cody. Dustin makes the save. The Gun Club are in there for some reason, provide backup. And then QT Marshall shows up late, and everyone's like, where the fuck were you? And I take issue, like, don't get me wrong, I can't stand QT Marshall and that apple eating fuck, but I take issue with them just assuming that because this man was not out there immediately, that he didn't have, like, maybe he was taking a shit.
Okay, first off,
Whatever he may have been doing, he wasn't out there to just say, "Hey, are you okay?" Like there was 6 other people in the ring saying, "Hey, are you okay?" What the fuck you want him to do?
No. I have more of a gripe with fucking with Arn. He got in. He was in the ring while he was still getting jumped by Penta and didn't do anything. He waited like 5 years just to get close.
He got neck problems though. Like
I was gonna say, have you seen Penta? Like Arn's an old man.
Don't get in the fucking ring then.
Like, do you not remember? I'll give you my spot, WCW. He can't do shit. Like his neck all fucked up. He'll die.
Picking on old men. What's wrong with you, Vince?
Well, he's selfish. We've talked about this already.
I'm just saying QT could have been taking a shit. QT, maybe he was stuck in catering, didn't see what was happening. Maybe he was on his phone rubbing one out real quick. Like he could have had some shit going on.
Exactly. He could have been doing events real quick, and we don't know. We don't know. It's just
I like how I saw
the prejudging that's going on right now on QT Marshall is upsetting.
We did a whole bit about you masturbating when you turned your camera off. Like that was the whole thing.
It's not that serious.
We talked about how you were.
Oh, you didn't hear us when we were talking when you turned your camera off and went on.
You have no idea how perfect this was. You turned your camera off, and I'm like, well, see what happened, Travis? You had Vince looking at porn. I know for a fact from last week he has lotion in reaching distance. I'm like, Vince, please just mute your mic. And as soon as I said it, you muted your mic.
Yeah. I really thought you heard us when you did that.
No, I didn't actually. I just was moving around trying to find my charger for my phone because it was about to die.
Listen, sir. Just buy lube. It's better than lotion. It feels way better.
If you guys are not watching this on Pornhub or YouTube, just for that moment alone, you need to go watch this and see how perfect it played out. We got the Young Bucks addressing Ray and Pac's singles losses to Ray and Pac. Don Callis interrupts during the pod saying that basically the Bucks aren't the Young Bucks anymore. They fell off and Kenny has left them in the dust. Also they had that do not slap leg while kicking shirt.
Very quickly try to
a shot.
be subtle about it, but it's
taking a shot at WWE for that mandate.
Look, I hate a bit this guy, but can we just stop with the whole petty shots back and forth? Not just the AW side, the WWE side too. It's just honestly for me personally, I just kind of get annoyed. It's like just focus on your own shit. You got AEW, you have your own problems. Don't worry about WWE's.
I love that insider fucking little Easter egg reference shit.
Well, the thing is about those things, like I like that stuff too if it's actually funny. That just wasn't funny, so it was just like okay.
I mean, WWE came out and said stop slapping legs, so they made an entire T-shirt about it and then put it on air. I enjoy it. I don't know. Because I think the don't slap your leg thing is fucking stupid. Like, it's not one of those things that I thought was like a huge problem with WWE that needed to be addressed and stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It made
I don't think it was a huge problem. I thought it was silly, but I didn't think it was a huge problem. Because like it's only really a problem if you're watching like live in the building. That's the only time you really notice.
Yeah.
Because like when you go to live events, if you're sitting close, you see that's what's happening. Like, that's fucking stupid. But like if you're watching on TV, it looks great. It sounds great. But like the joke just wasn't, funny to me. So it's like it's okay as long as your jabs and your jokes are actually funny.
For sure.
But it is the rule with most things. The offensive things, even those kind of things. It's just if it's funny, it's okay.
You got to see Jade
Hence
Cargill.
Dave
Well, did
Chappelle.
you go back and watch the Shaq match, Travis, after we talked?
No, I forgot.
Okay. Did you see? You saw Jade Cargill though, right?
I saw this match this week, and I'm like, I love you.
You love her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan.
I'll climb that tree.
You weren't a fan of her in-ring work. You're just a fan of Jade.
No, I like her in the ring too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like the powerhouse?
Yeah,
She
I like
defeated Danny
she was
Jordan.
what she was supposed to be. She's bigger than these people. Get in there and dominate. Do big motherfucking shit. Do
I was
big
gonna
bad
say,
motherfucking shit.
She's gonna need some reps. She kind of reminds me of early Giant in WCW, where her timing's a little off, needs a little work. But yeah, like you said, she's in there doing powerhouse shit.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Giant. He was a little green. His spots weren't as crisp. Were a little off. He needed some work.
Where did you
She'll
see
get the
the
work.
Giant, Matt?
Huh?
When did you see the Giant?
In WCW.
When were you watching WCW?
I've watched WCW multiple times, especially over the last 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
when? Why were you watching it, Matt?
Because we have a podcast called Return to Wrestling where we go back and cover WCW, and Travis makes me watch the terrible, fucking awful Dungeon of Doom bullshit and the Yeti and the Yeti and the Giant dry humping Hulk Hogan after he fell off of a building and survived, and all of the other terrible, awful, god awful shit WCW did in 1995 and 1996.
There you go. Plug the shit, man. That's all I wanted. Go ahead. Continue.
I know. Pinnacle. How do you feel about the name The Pinnacle for the new faction that is FTR, Sean Spears, Wardlow, and MJF? And how do you feel about the group?
If they don't get a sponsorship from Pinnacle Vodka, I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I think the name is all right. It's not the worst name ever. I thought the Shield wasn't the best name when it first came out, and it just kind of rolls off the tongue now.
I have a problem with this whole story.
Okay, what's your problem?
So MJF whole big plan was to become a part of the inner circle so he could have another group to beat up the inner circle.
He wanted to destroy the inner circle from the inside while at the same time building his own faction, and wanted to misdirect them from knowing that he's building his own faction by believing that he wants to take over the inner circle and destroy it that way.
Okay, so yeah, that's MJF's goal was to do a little sleight of hand. Look over here at what I'm doing that's very obvious, so you don't see what I'm actually doing over here. I'm going to make you think that I'm obviously trying to be an interloper in the inner circle and tear it apart from the inside, when really my plan to destroy the inner circle is going on over here, and I'm working on putting this together. And then there was the big reveal.
But if he just formed that group and just jumped them randomly, it would have worked out the same.
True.
Like, that's my point. Like, they actually have more people. They could have just ran out and jumped him randomly, and he would have achieved the same result.
And wouldn't have wasted 6 months of his time being Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
But then you don't have a story.
I get it. It's a dumb plan, but I get it.
Do you want to talk about the 8-man tag or 10-man or whatever?
No.
Luchasaurus was there. Why wouldn't we want to talk about that
That's
shit?
why I asked, Travis. Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the Butcher and the Blade, Botcher and Bland defeat Bear Country and Jurassic Express.
Man, fuck Bear Country and they disrespectful asses. Don't disrespect your luchador dinosaur.
Had a little issue with Jurassic Express and Bear Country, leading to Marco Stunt eating the pin and losing the match.
Lucha Express. I mean, Jurassic Express.
It is nice that you're 1 week back watching AEW. You did get your luchador dinosaur.
I did. I got Luchasaurus. I didn't get Orange Cassidy, but I got Luchasaurus.
Mox and Kingston do a promo. A lot of insider references here. Yes.
When did this happen?
After Kingston came out and 69 John Moxley to protect him from the sparklers at the end of the barbed wire death match.
Did they talk about that at all? Or they just pretend it didn't happen?
No, they talked about it. They made fun of it. So basically, last week, Don Callis, and that's where I got the 69 reference from. Don Callis and Kenny came out and basically tried to play it off as we did this bullshit to fuck with you fans. You fans wanted a big explosion. You wanted a grand finale, and we gave you bullshit because fuck you. And then Kingston came out and they made fun of Kingston, and they were like, oh, look, there he is, Moxley's savior. And Omega dropped to the mat and started yelling, 69 me, Don, 69 me, which I fucking loved and cracked up.
That's
fun of the way
fucking great.
Kingston covered Moxley to protect him. So they did reference it.
Okay.
Then Mox and Kingston made fun of him, saying that clearly Impact Wrestling paid for the pyro, which is why it was so shitty.
Okay. I'm with it. I like that. Okay.
But yeah, no, there's a lot here with Kingston and Mox making references to different shit in wrestling. It was one of their promos, though.
And they quoted 50 Cent.
Then we got the Christian Cage interview. How he's coming for Omega. He's going to earn his keep, but his eyes are on Omega.
Like, yeah, I'm not here to take your spot. I'm just here to put myself in the main event. That's all.
He's going to earn it. He's going to earn his spot in the main event.
Yeah, sure he is.
I feel like he's a perfect fit for Impact. I feel like WWE would have used him as a side character.
You mean for AEW?
Yeah. Well, he was also on Impact, which is probably why I said that, because that's where
he was good on Impact too.
Yeah, so I feel like they would have just used him as an ancillary character in the Edge story and not really done anything much with him outside of Edge's shit. So here he at least gets to be his own person and gets to shine. So if he can go, if he's back, if he's gonna be like Edge, let the guy fucking go. And I'm down with the fucking Christian versus Omega feud. Like,
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. I make fun of it because it's just funny that he said that. Like, I'm not here to take anybody's spot, but then he's like, yeah, I'm coming to be put in the main event though.
Mm-hmm. Are you still with us, Vince? Everything okay?
Yeah. I'm here. Sorry.
Is somebody saying you titties?
Maybe.
It's understandable. I get distracted when I get sent titties too.
Might have been a makeup for tonight. So I'm not confirming nor denying things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make it quick then. Good Brothers lose.
Make sure you use your
Kingston. Then the Good Brothers jump Kingston on the stage and take out Mox before the match. Mox gets the roll up. Good Brothers take out both guys. Omega comes down with the chair. Kingston tries to make the save and gets wrecked. And then the Bucks come down and get in the way of the Good Brothers. There is a lot of tension here where they're like, you guys need to stop, cut it out. Good Brothers and Omega are trying to get them to Too Sweet. They turn their back and leave. They refuse to do the Too Sweet.
Have they ever done the Too Sweet?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know because I don't watch AEW. So
it was a thing before AEW, but yes.
But did the Young Bucks do it before?
Yes, they've gotten them to do it before, but this time they're like, you know what? You guys are taking the shit too far. We're done. They're out. And Omega is pissed that his former best friends are seemingly turning against him.
I applaud them for making Kenny Omega more interesting now.
I care more about Kenny.
I also enjoy the fact that we've got a former TNA or Impact tag team champions competing on like that whole getting talent from other companies to compete on your show and giving them a showcase and then putting yourself, because Kenny Omega. So right now, Rich Swann is your unified TNA and Impact champion.
Mm-hmm.
They unified those titles. Rich Swann is a champion, and he will be facing Kenny Omega in a title versus title match at an Impact pay-per-view.
Oh, Rich Swann.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember him.
Not Moose, who lost that match.
I think Moose would have been a better match, but that's fine.
I think it's. I think they just kind of want to solidify Rich Swann. To be honest, for the longest, ever since he got there, they've really been slowly rebuilding that guy up. And as much as they like Moose, they're just kind of like invested into Rich Swann.
Moose is such a bad motherfucker, though.
He should. He should be. He should either be in AEW or NXT right now.
Like, for real, he is like back when Bobby Lashley was in, TNA's last time I really saw him on a regular basis, but it's just like, yo, he is such a bad motherfucker. I love Moose.
We got a Sting and Darby promo. Darby wants to be a fighting champion. He talks about how little he's been able to defend his championship due to the issues with Team Taz. Then he makes an open challenge.
I do see that as some bullshit. It's this TNA title is supposed to be their equivalent of the TV title from back in the WCW days, and it's just never defended.
Well, he's going to fix that, and he makes an open challenge to the Dark Order. The Dark Order in honor of the former TNT champion Brody Lee. But Archer comes out. Again, Archer is randomly
told Brody he couldn't do it.
Heel again. And Jake makes really bad dad jokes. Like, he's like, you must be cold. Is that what
that was?
He said, you must be cold. Go get your bun, your hot dog bun, because you're a weenie.
Yeah, there was.
It
was a disappointing Jake promo.
Yeah, this isn't the 80s, early 90s anymore, Jake. That shit don't fly. And then Team Taz comes out.
I didn't watch it, of course. But the Sting match, how was it?
I didn't watch it, but I heard it was very good. It was a cinematic match, so they played the Sting's strengths.
Vinny, did you see it?
No, I didn't.
You're both useless.
I was going to get it strictly for the death match, and then I heard about the finish of the death match, and I decided to save my $50.
It was $50?
Yeah.
Do they suck your dick too?
No.
Oh, well then no.
Team Taz comes out, and Brian Cage takes the microphone from Taz and gives Sting props and respect, and Team Taz is not happy with Brian Cage. So essentially, we've got a heel Lance Archer.
Name again?
Will Hobbs.
Yeah. I couldn't remember when I saw him out there. That's all. Nothing important. I was like, what the fuck is his name?
No, so we got a babyface turn for Brian Cage and then heel Lance Archer. And that's what I need, more Lance Archer versus Brian Cage, or Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs, or Lance Archer versus Luchasaurus, or Miro versus any of those guys.
Basically, you need some big bad motherfuckers fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wardlow, throw Wardlow in there.
Makes sense.
Anyone but
do that. This is still professional wrestling. We don't need the little dudes flipping all over the place every match, every week. Get some big bad motherfuckers in there to beat the fuck out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of little dudes flipping around, we had Phoenix defeat and Helico. I fast forwarded through this match because even though I like
don't
Ray
even remember
Phoenix,
this match happening.
Don't care about Helico whatsoever. Then we got a Miro promo. So basically, Kip's mad that Penelope was collateral damage in their match, and Miro, greatest line ever. Here's some advice. The worst thing for your career is to have your wife at ringside, because if anyone would know that, it's fucking Miro.
Definitely.
I loved it.
He also says he doesn't care about anyone inside the ring when he's in there. All he cares about is winning. Outside of the ring, he still loves them, though. And then Marvez asks Kip if they're accepting the challenge from Chuck and OC, and he said yes. Also, we got John Silver being the Dark Order's selected challenger for Darby's challenge. So it'll be John Silver versus Darby Allin for the TNT title. None of that matters, though, ladies and gentlemen, because our main event is Thunder Rosa defeating Britt Baker in a lights-out match, and these two women beat the fuck out of each other and tore it down.
And here's the thing. I'm reluctant to give AEW props on anything. But when they presented this concept at first of the lights out, unsanctioned kind of thing, at least they did something to make the unsanctioned part of this feel like it may have been unsanctioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like WWE would do that, like, hey, this is an unsanctioned match, but it was just the same as any other match. Well, at least they did something different here to make it feel like it was, not just any typical match.
We saw everything.
Give them props for that.
Thumbtacks, table spots, fucking stomps to the stairs, ladders, blood, both women bleeding, Britt bleeding profusely. We saw a lockjaw in the tacks, them using the tacks as a way to break up the lockjaw. there are little tiny things in here I could nitpick, but I'm not going to because it was a damn good match. And it's
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not
it's just
gonna do
like
that.
I'm not gonna, like I said, normally I love ripping AEW apart, but I'm not touching them on this one. I'll give it to them.
Do you agree, Vince?
I freaking love this match from start to finish. I can't say enough good things about Britt Baker. She is wholeheartedly the best woman in that roster, and the fact that she's not the women's champion right now is kind of criminal. As much as I do like Hikaru Shida, after her performance and after, like, she's the best character too in that division. She has gotten so good in the ring and the character. She's probably the most well-rounded woman in that division.
Complete
If-
180
if-
what we got when AEW started with Britt
Exactly, completely wanted, and even then, I knew that she was going to probably be the face of that women's division. She just wasn't ready for it then. She's ready for it now.
We got a character.
So
Yeah.
based on that match alone, I'm swallowing AEW, and I'm saying that
Same.
was the best match of the week.
And
Yeah.
we got that match, and we got Luchasaurus. I'll swallow it.
All right, Monday Night Raw.
Coincidentally, I found out from Matt was on Big Brother, which makes him even better to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're welcome for that. Did
And
you
when
see?
she told me, I'm like, I saw him. I'm like, Austin, let me look up who. I see it. That's him. Yeah.
We got. We're told that we're gonna have Bobby versus Drew at Mania.
Yeah, man. Big match, Bob.
Bobby talks about being dominant and his dominance. Miz tries to weasel his way back into the title picture. Drew attacks the way Bobby won the title in the first place, taking the easy way out in his integrity, and basically said, you don't need MVP anymore, which MVP, you know what? Listen, shut the fuck up, Drew. Shut the fuck up.
Do not ruin this.
Do not
Do
ruin
not ruin this. Yes,
Straight up,
he does.
Shut the fuck up. Leave MVP alone. And then Sheamus ends up attacking Bobby on the ramp, which leads to a match later between Sheamus and Bobby Lashley. That Bobby wins. Sheamus says Bobby stuck his nose where it didn't belong in Sheamus's business.
But Bobby won it because you know why? He's big match Bob now.
That was our main event. Bobby defeats Sheamus. Sheamus gets a post-match hurt lock, and Drew comes down and hits Bobby with the Claymore to go off air.
And that was Raw.
Basically.
I mean, I liked it for the most part, to be honest, because as much as shit I've been giving Sheamus for calling him mid at best, but
So disrespectful.
I like what they've been doing. But unfortunately, it does look like him and Drew at Fastlane. It's just kind of like a stopgap for the real main event at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Yeah, definitely.
We also got Drew defeating The Miz. Yay. More Braun and Shane.
Yeah, no
bullshit.
shit.
This Braun and Shane stuff gets worse and worse every week, and I don't know how they can make it worse, but they do. They fucking slimed Braun Strowman. Like, really?
Yeah, he had buckets of slime. Why did he have buckets of slime?
I don't know. It looked like the DX green paint that they used to dump on people. You remember that?
Yeah.
This is just
At least
fucking
that
awful.
dropped from the ceiling, though.
Yeah,
They
this-
didn't have it in buckets under the ring.
This is just fucking awful.
yeah, it was not good.
Did you see R-Truth celebrating 316 Day?
I only saw him in the segment with Bad Bunny. I know there were other things that happened, though. So
Yeah, there were. So that's not good enough for Hulu, but the Bad Bunny is. Did you see Lana and Naomi versus the
Nope.
Sexy Muscle Friends?
No.
Did you see the New Day versus the Hurt Business?
I did.
How do you feel about the Hurt Business losing the tag team titles after Bobby became WWE champion?
That doesn't really bother me. If they had lost to anybody but the New Day, it probably would have bothered me. But it's just like, I mean, I get it with the New Day. They can win them back. They can go back and forth. It's fine. One thing I like though, because I didn't get to see the New Day last week because they weren't good enough for Hulu last week. So I don't know if they did it last week,
They did.
but like them with
Their
Kofi doing the
entire-
get over here, it was like, yeah, that's dope. Like I'm so happy they did that shit.
You know, they've got the Scorpion and Sub-Zero gear on. They've been rocking that for a couple weeks now. After the match, Omos and AJ want a shot at the new champs at Mania. This will be Omos's in-ring debut.
At Mania.
So basically, we just took the titles off the Hurt Business and put them on the New Day so that we could give Omos this in-ring debut at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Babyface tag team versus a heel tag team. That's really the only reason we took the titles off the Hurt Business, was to set this up.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I don't think they really had any plans for the Hurt Business at WrestleMania, and they wanted to get the New Day on there, and they needed something for AJ, so they figured, let's do this.
Yeah. And the thing is, Omos, what happened? What's going on with Omos and Woods? Like, is there something happening there? Like I said,
Omos tossed Woods like a ragdoll a few weeks ago, and
Like
that's
a little
the history.
bitch.
must have been not good enough for Hulu then, because I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But okay.
It was definitely not good enough for Hulu.
Okay.
Then we get a little bit more of Damian Priest and Bad Bunny and the Miz and Morrison, which leads to what Travis talked about. Truth showing up, carrying all of his Stone Cold merch, dressed up like Stone Cold. It's not 316, but he's celebrating 316 Day a day early. And he tells Bad Bunny, I'll trade you this title. Can I have the 24/7 title back? And props to Bad Bunny. He said he respects Truth as a champion in the business, and he feels like it's only right that R-Truth is a champion, and gives him the title. Someone brought up a great point, though, on Twitter, and I wish I had saved it. Jack Tunney said when Andre the Giant handed the $1 Million Man that championship, that we cannot hand championships over. So this then negates that ruling, which means the $1 Million champion is now a WWF champion, which may then change the entire lineage of the WWE title going back.
Or they can vacate that title and have a whole scramble for the title thing in Mania or some shit. Like, you know, you got to get Truth on the show somehow. So what you can do, you vacate that title and make it so like there's like a scramble for the title match kind of thing. And, you know, you do that kind of as like a mid segment on WrestleMania, just, you know, to let the crowd calm down a little bit and get some comedy in there.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I don't think it's going to get addressed, Matt. I think
probably not.
Oh, no, it's not going to get addressed. I just love the idea that now $1 Million Man is a champion. And if you go back in history and look at matches, you could trace an entire new lineage of champions. People who may be champion based on $1 Million Man being the champion. I enjoy that idea. So refacing the WWE retroactively. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the Bad Bunny did hand over that 24/7 title to Truth. Took the Smoking Skull belt as a suitable replacement. And again, props to Bad Bunny for being here and being involved, because we got Riker versus Priest. I literally went pee during Damian Priest's bullshit ass fake Archer entrance. And when I came back, Elias was getting punched by Bad Bunny. So I missed the entire match.
No, you didn't.
In the time it took for me to go pee.
Didn't miss
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
That
was the highlight of the match. You missed nothing important. It all went exactly the way you would predicted it went, and then Bad Bunny punched him.
More or less.
Bad Bunny also gets hit with the guitar by The Miz, again, setting up Damian Priest and Bad Bunny versus The Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania, more than likely.
Yeah, we've been through this.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's like I kind of don't really like the way they kind of went about this.
I feel like ever since you got the text message, you've like, do you need to go? Do we need to let you go? Are you pressed for time? You got a dick appointment you need to get to? Because like me and Travis can finish this up if you got to go.
We can. I respect your appointment, sir. If you got to drop off some dick somewhere, you need to go do that.
We're not going to hold you up from getting that dick wet. Like, you got that rain check.
Yeah.
Go cash that check.
I don't like how I'm being put on the spot.
I'm not putting you on the spot. We're literally trying to be understanding here.
We're saying
we're not selfish.
If you got to go, you got to go, man. Like,
yeah, that's the situation at the moment.
All right. Well, Get the fuck out of here. Me and Travis.
Well, I say you
show.
go do that, and we'll handle the rest of this show. It's
You'll
okay.
Be back. You'll be back next week, and we'll give you all the shit about it next week. But you go enjoy yourself tonight.
All right.
Oh, don't tell me Travis froze too.
Go do that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You guys froze for like half a second. All right, Vince. All right, we got to finish this up because now it says my internet connection's unstable. So,
all right, let's finish
I knew he was distracted as fuck.
Like
man.
seriously,
He was completely out of it. I'm like, just go get your dick wet. Like, go have some fun. I get it because that's what he was. I'm not gonna put his business out there.
Don't put his business out there. He had somewhere to be. Go do that.
Then we got more. We talked about the Shane and Braun bullshit. Alexa challenges Randy Orton at Fastlane. Basically, she's like, "You want to get your comeuppance? You want to get your revenge? Come get me at Fastlane."
This is the one match I'm looking forward to at Fastlane.
Yes, because
everything else can go to hell. I don't give a fuck about nothing else that's happening.
But I Randy Orton will RKO a girl.
Exactly. He will 100% RKO Alexa Bliss. So yes, I cannot wait for this shit. This is the one match at Fastlane that I give a fuck about.
And more than likely, if you guys are watching the video, you can see I got my Fiend shirt on. We will probably see a return of Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah.
So I'm stoked for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing but good things to look forward to on Sunday when it comes to this match right here.
Randy accepts that challenge, by the way, because of course he did. Like, Randy Orton's gonna say no. Shayna Baszler loses to Asuka. So this whole thing is Shayna kicked Asuka in the head, knocked out her tooth. Asuka's been gone. She came back. She's fucking up Shayna. So Asuka loses her shit and tries to take Shayna's teeth. She took the turnbuckle pad off. She's trying to kick Shayna's mouth into the exposed turnbuckle and knock her teeth out. The ref saved Shayna, but Asuka just went fucking buck wild.
Shayna wears a mouth guard though.
She ripped it out.
Oh, she ripped it out. Okay, I didn't see that.
Asuka reached into Shayna's mouth and pulled the mouth guard out.
Okay, I missed that somehow. Okay.
Sure that when she did this, she was going to do some damage. So respect that little detail there. I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, she's got a mouth guard and she'll be all right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too the whole time. But I somehow I must have looked away at the point where she pulled the mouth guard out or something. I don't know.
She didn't even give a fuck about how gross it is to reach in that woman's mouth. She went right in there, yanked that mouth guard out.
She don't care.
Fuck you up. I enjoyed the shit out of this whole thing. And did you see Ali versus Riddle for the fucking US title?
No.
You didn't miss anything.
I didn't know that. Well, I knew that match was happening, but I didn't see it.
So not good enough for Hulu. Monday Night Raw edition. R-Truth celebrates 316 Day a day early with Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose and Lana and Naomi. They're all just kind of hanging out in the back talking. R-Truth comes in and they let him know it's not actually 316 Day.
Close enough.
Yeah. Then Lana and Naomi lose to the Sexy Muscle Friends with Shayna and Nia at ringside. And that's when Asuka returns and starts whooping Shayna until they are pulled apart, which then led to the match that you saw because Asuka's pissed off because she had the concussion and she was out.
Oh, that makes sense.
And last but not least, Mustafa Ali loses to Matt Riddle.
What's going on with this Ali shit with the fucking, retribution? What
So
why?
Retribution's been taking L's and Ali was gonna like prove to them like this is how you should be, and then Ali's taking L's. Like, it's a fucking waste of time.
Did we get anything with him and Kofi though?
No.
They just let that go.
They just let that go. And reminder, they had a former WWE championship elimination chamber, and they had the perfect opportunity for Ali to say that he wanted to challenge Kofi for that spot because Kofi took his spot.
Because it makes too much sense. Why wouldn't they do that?
Because they're fucking
made too much fucking sense.
Because they're fucking stupid.
God.
Instead, we went with fucking Matt Riddle and his goddamn flip-flops and his stupid little fucking scooter. Piece of shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, it is some bullshit. It really is. Because this Ali versus Kofi thing could have been really fucking fun. And they just refuse.
But Vince loves Matt Riddle, of course, because he loves stupid fucking characters.
I mean, he also loved The Undertaker too, so we can't really
I didn't say all of the characters he loved are stupid. I said he loves stupid characters.
Yeah.
That's like me saying I love burritos. It doesn't mean I love all, or no, it's like me saying I love steak burritos. I love steak burritos. It doesn't mean I like every variation of a steak burrito. I just love steak burritos. I don't like my steak burritos with rice.
I don't either.
Matt Riddle is a steak burrito with rice.
That's a very good analogy right there. I don't like rice either.
You spit or swallow Monday Night Raw.
I'm spitting it.
It's so good to have you back. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Like I did see you like a week ago, but that's neither here nor there.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah. You said you're spitting?
Yeah, I'm spitting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna spit raw too. What was your favorite show this week?
Oh shit. Oh shit, Matt.
I think I know the answer.
I think my favorite show this week was AEW.
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Oh my god.
I can't, dude. That women's match tore it down. Like it was the best thing I saw all week.
It did. Like it was so fucking good.
And the thing was,
I
heard
to see Jade Cargill at the beginning too, and I got Luchasaurus. Like,
here's what's even better. Because I watched AEW second, I saw all the hype about the match on Twitter, and it lived up to the hype. Like it wasn't overhyped to where I was like, okay, I'm going to go into this thing and this is the greatest thing ever. And it didn't deliver. I got all the hype and then it delivered. So
I watched it while I was supposed to be selling insurance to old people.
AEW, as per the Smackin' Raw podcast, is the best show of the week this week.
Fuck.
So shout out to Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa for killing it and making Travis say AEW is the best show of the week this week.
Yeah. And
shout
they put out a lot of bullshit this week too, and I still think it's the best show of the week.
And Jake Cargill, which, by the way, I think this is the first time not only we had a women's main event on Dynamite, but this is the first time we've had more than one women's match on Dynamite. So they took their criticism and they're doing something about it.
Yeah.
So props to them.
I need to go back and watch that Shaq match though. Like I keep forgetting to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. Probably not, but I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll try and text you and remind you.
Yeah, remind me.
Because just for everyone who's listening to this, if you guys are expecting it, I was supposed to be doing the Dead Ass Girls podcast tomorrow. There's some issues that came up, so we will not be recording. That is going to be pushed off to the future. I'm not, again, putting people's business out there. That's their business. But due to some issues that came up, we are not able to record tomorrow. So there will not be an episode of the Dead Ass Girls coming out this week, as was announced on Twitter. And we hope that everyone's okay over there. So
yeah, we love them.
Yes, we do. You got anything you got to plug going on? You want to talk about your shit?
Yo, Dungeons After Dark is coming. I threw out a little teaser last week.
Is it really? Because you've been saying that for like a year now.
We got some new artwork now. I'll be teasing that out soon. Next couple weeks, we'll be recording.
Okay. Just so you know, I got something on April 6th, but other than that, I
don't know what day of the week that is.
Well, okay, it's a Tuesday.
Okay, that won't matter then.
But that whole week, I am off. The week of my birthday, from April 2nd through WrestleMania, I'm off work, so I'm free whenever that whole week.
Touche. Good to know. That'll help a lot actually for that first one.
So, all right. Dungeons After Dark, super flashy Arrow of Tomorrow is back.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling all your new shows?
Some of them are disappointing in me. Some of them are living up and surprising me. Like, you know, Superman and Lois is different than I expected, but in a good way. Batwoman has been good at times. There's parts of it that I'm just like, why are we still doing this? Black Lightning has, how do I put this? I like it, but at the same time, I'm just like, there's certain things. Why are you doing this? So it's just, you know, it's a bit of a mixed bag, but overall, I enjoy it all.
I've only been watching Batwoman so far. I've not got on the Superman Lois train, and for some reason, I keep forgetting to set Black Lightning to record. So I'm probably going to catch that on Netflix when the season ends and just binge the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can find out more about that and hear Mara and Travis talk about that, and possibly have Travis have Mara look up porn in the future on the episode. If you guys go check out Super Flash Year of Tomorrow, which you guys can find at both facebook.com/creationworld or facebook.com/group/ Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, which is the discussion page where they cover all of that. You know what? We got one for us too. And that is facebook.com/groups/Smackin' It Raw, where we do Raw discussions, NXT discussions, AEW discussions, SmackDown discussions, pay-per-view discussions. We got a chat for everything and just a general mix of bullshit, wrestling related. And it is one of the coolest, least drama, most relaxed internet wrestling places you can go. So if you're looking for just a cool place to chill and talk wrestling without all the extra IWC bullshit, please go check that out.
Yeah, we remove the bullshit. So
We do.
you know, if you come in there with that bullshit, we kick you out because we don't live that way.
Also, we have an Instagram now. It is at Smackin' It Raw Pod. That is run by Vince. Vince is doing a good job over there. Also, Facebook.com, or I'm sorry, also on Twitter at Smackin' It Raw Pod. Still trying to get those numbers up to rival the 4,000 followers that I now have at Matt Ritter. That is at MATTRIDDER. So I can transfer all of the podcast stuff over to the what used to be the Rax account is now the backup account. So please go go subscribe, go follow that page,
and subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes. Have we hit 100
no,
subscribers?
No, because I wouldn't still be saying this shit if we had. So yeah,
really haven't. How the fuck have we not gotten 100?
I don't know. Talk to your 4,000 followers.
I have repeatedly. Y'all don't fucking listen.
They don't. That's the problem. People don't fucking
subscribe.
listen.
Just go subscribe. Trust me. Video version is way better than listening to the audio.
It is. It is.
You would not have been able to see the reaction on Vince's face when we called him out for needing to leave his dick appointment if you do not watch this on either YouTube or the Pornhub. Also, please go check us out on Pornhub because we are back on Pornhub because you guys can follow Travis at Sir Cussalot. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT on Twitter and Instagram. Also, The Creation World on Twitter and Instagram. That is at THECREATIA World on Twitter and Instagram. But there are link trees everywhere that'll get you to Pornhub because we are back on Pornhub. Because for Sir Cussalot Travis Pointer, I am the Warden Matt Ritter. We, along with Daddy Delgado, are Smackin' It Raw. And we are, once again, the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub, baby.
Peace.